test, 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 1, 2, test. Test, 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 1, 2, test, 1, 2, test. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Test. Okay, at this time, we're going to reconvene to open session. If we can have our city clerk report out from closed session.
Well,
I'm sorry, if we can have our attorney report out from closed session.
Certainly, Mr. Mayor. With the five members of the council being present, the council met in closed session, discussed the following items. With respect to item number 1, city staff, both positions were discussed. City staff made a presentation. City council provided direction. No final reportable action was taken. With respect to item number 2, 2 items were discussed. One item will be continued. The city council will recess from closed session, and the plan is to adjourn back into closed session following the open session part of this meeting, but 2 items were discussed. City staff made a presentation. No final reportable action was taken. And item number 3, city staff made a presentation. City council provided direction. No final reportable action was taken. And again, the city council will adjourn back into closed session following the conclusion of the open session part of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the regular meeting is now called to order. Can I please have a roll call?
Councilmember Guimeder,
Here.
Councilmember Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Ribur,
Here.
Vice Mayor Lainez,
Here.
and Mayor Altamirano.
Here. Okay, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by Transportation Director Mix Ferguson, and I will be giving the invocation.
And put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God, I ask you to bless 2025 with us starting from January 1st, having terrorist attacks on our country. And I pray for the families, for the people that were lost. I pray for the fire department, the sheriffs, and all who are involved with the fires that took place. And also pray for the families that lost their friends or family, that lost their homes. I pray for speedy recovery and for our country to head in a great direction for 2025. So just continue to bless our families, our city, our residents, and the city council. Amen. At this time, we'll go ahead and open up public comment. And I can start with Franklin Arroyo.
Hello, Honorable Mayor and Council. As President of the Employees Association of AFSCME Local 773, I'd like to congratulate the new mayor and the new vice mayor, and I look forward to working with them and the rest of the council this upcoming year. Last week, the union had a meeting. A transportation employee shared with us a concern that a couple of his co-workers face. They live in fear of deportation as they are DACA. They currently only go to work and then go home. They are too afraid to go to the parks or live normal lives. Ever since the new administration won the election, and we've been seeing reports of Border Patrol in communities such as Bakersfield. My question is, are there any talks about declaring the City of Commerce as a sanctuary city? And I'd like to also mention that if the model city were to face a natural disaster, I hope that the city has been taking steps to keep us prepared for one. I hope these fires in the region are a reminder to council that the council should bring back the Commerce Search and Rescue team, and that the council should not cut any funding to any of our emergency response teams. Thank you.
Thank you. And to our city manager, can you please, I see you document that, their questions, can you please answer in the near future and also update us on their concerns and questions? Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker, Gloria Nezahualcóyotr. Thank you.
Buenas tardes, Gloria de Zahualcoyo, Vista del Rio, in the City of Commerce. So all through the last year, I kept coming to you in regards to the problems we had at the senior center. And I'm going to say, if there's going to be commitment, like how are you going to improve the way we're treated at the senior center? Now the transportation has been cut down because there's no employee that is willing to get a chauffeur license so they can bring the seniors after 1 o'clock. I think now everything has to be finished at the senior center by 2 o'clock. So what's the purpose of keeping the senior center between 2 and 5 o'clock if we cannot come in, the ones that don't have proper transportation? Remember, we don't have the buses that the blue and red. We don't have them from Fidelia to come to this one, no, to come on the bus. If people want to come late after the bus, after 1 o'clock, they're going to have to walk it because we do not have the city transportation nor the senior center transportation. So something has to be done. Also, I did ask to please educate your commissioners so they can better serve the community. But we did, I guess you did something because they told us, we're doing this because the concejales have told us not to react or not to engage. And then they said, okay, so they didn't listen. But what they did now, one club is completely dissolved. The other one, it's there, something with zero income, because our former president from the Commerce Senior Club said, nos chingamos en todo el dinero. And somehow we were heard there. The councilmen were also part of their big shindig banquet they had. And they said, we asked, where did the money go? Was anybody accountable for the funds and to explain to the membership how the money was spent? No, because none of you listened to us throughout the whole year. And I said, is there any records how all those $10,000 plus were spent? No. So now please educate your people, educate your council people, and let's have some accountability for those that are afraid to come here and speak up because they're going to be blackmailed, they're going to be ignored, or something else. So, agarren la onda y o nos ayudan o digan cierren todos los clubes y no hagan nada, pero no nos dejen así a la mitad como todos, ¿ok? Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Gloria. City Manager, I know that I recently received an email from Gloria. Can you set up a meeting with her next week? We can both sit down with her and see what she'd like to meet about. Our next speaker is Jason Sonette.
Good evening, Mayor. I'd like to call up a couple other residents. We're submitting something, so it's kind of like a group message, if that would be okay.
Yes.
Come on up. Okay, just to preface what we're talking about today, I just want to echo the mayor's sentiments and send our thoughts and prayers out to all the people that are impacted by this tragedy, these fires. They're really bad, and for those of us that can, I urge you to donate what you can: clothing, food, water, money. Just do it. We got to take care of each other in times like these. But with that, the reason we're here tonight, I'm going to go ahead and read this off. Give me a moment to put on my glasses. Didn't need these the last time I was in the council chamber. Been a few years. Dear honorable members of the City Council, we, the undersigned members of the community, are here this evening to propose the establishment of a Commerce Sustainability and Resilience Commission. The goal of such an entity is to develop a blueprint to assist the city in establishing and advancing sustainability goals that address energy efficiency, water conservation, public health, and biodiversity, while fostering a resilient and sustainable future for commerce. The seeds for this proposal were planted by the participation of several residents in the Commerce Sustainable Transportation Equity Program, or STEP Committee. You can try saying that a few times real fast. Over the last few years, which was guided by the leadership and expertise of city staff and the Climate Resolve team. And for the benefit of the public, we want to provide a little bit of background on the STEP Committee and Climate Resolve. Climate Resolve is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to build a just and resilient future through collaborations to champion equitable climate solutions. STEP is part of California Climate Investments, a statewide initiative that puts billions of cap and trade dollars to work to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, strengthen the economy, and improve public health. Guided by these principles, the Commerce STEP Committee, funded in part by a $3.2 million grant from the California Air Resources Board, was established through a partnership between the city and Climate Resolve. The committee was comprised of community stakeholders that included residents, city staff, and representatives of the commerce-based International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 11. While the committee's activities concluded in December, several accomplishments resulted from the input of committee members as well as the extensive work of staff and the Climate Resolve team. These include a transit-oriented development and displacement avoidance plan to prepare for the build-out of LA Metro's future Citadel Rail Station, a critical project for the city's future, as you're all well aware. Establishment of the city's first set of Class 2 bike lanes to connect residents to key destinations, hosting several Clean Air Day events, 400 plantings of shade trees near pedestrian, bike, and transit corridors, 2 new electric buses for the City of Commerce transit lines, and 2 new electric dial-a-ride shuttles to provide on-demand service for seniors and disabled residents. The community stakeholders in support of this proposal would like to see this critically important work continue. We believe a focused group of enthusiastic, knowledgeable stakeholders and city staff can help improve and reduce the costs of city functions and operations. Renewable energy, electrification of transportation, and low-cost, high-impact energy efficiency and water conservation programs can provide substantial environmental and economic opportunities to benefit the city's residential and business communities. It's also worth noting the inclusion of resiliency in this proposal, the importance of which cannot be understated given the growing impacts of climate change. We've all been witness to the multi-year droughts of the last decade and the devastating fires that have ravaged our state in recent years, and that just days ago hit much closer to home. The more prepared we are, the more resilient we will be. Bold, decisive policy to enhance sustainability and resilience has immense potential to reduce pollution and improve quality of life in one of the most impacted environmental justice communities in the United States, while giving a significant boost to the local economy. We, the undersigned coalition of community stakeholders, submit this proposal for the City Council's consideration to establish a Commerce, Sustainability, and Resilience Commission. Respectfully submitted, and it's only 10 names, so I'm just going to read them off real quick and I'll wrap it up. Joe Aguilar, Erica Bojorquez, Ernesto Gonzalez, Anel Grajeda, Chris Grego, Oski Mignon, Augustine Perez, Sonia Rodriguez, myself, and Vanessa Stinnett. And that is what I have to say, and hopefully this is something that can be taken into consideration. I think there's a lot that can be done here. I have a lot of experience with utilities and energy efficiency, and I think with the right resources, we could really take the city in a bold direction that's going to have financial benefits, which I think is going to be more important than ever with the fiscal challenges that lay ahead. But thank you all for your time and for your consideration.
Thank you, Jason. City Manager, within the next couple of weeks, I'd like to sit down with this group and spend a little more time with them. Thank you. And this is part of Ernesto Gonzalez as well? This was, yeah, okay. Okay.
I mean, I could say something
Okay.
to that effect. Yeah, just echoing Ernesto Gonzalez, City of Commerce resident, also planning commissioner, and I just want to echo a lot of my neighbor, friend, colleague, Jason Sinnett's sentiment about the need for a sustainability commission in our community. Now more than ever, we're seeing the impacts of climate change. We're seeing all the devastation in communities like Altadena and Pacific Palisades, and those types of scenarios are going to continue. And I think it's important for us to start thinking about how can we adapt to a changing climate at the city level. I know that a lot of the policies are at the federal and state and county level, but I think at the local level we can make an impact on our communities. We can start examining policies that, like for example, the green zones policies that was approved years ago that was designed to address a lot of the environmental and justice issues that we have. But I think that we really need the political will to really build that into our zoning and effectuate a lot of those policies that can make a difference in our community. So I also think it's important to inform the community of what impacts are out there, get the community to understand and get buy-in on environmental injustice and as well as climate change, and what we can do as residents and what we can do as a city to adapt, because it's coming, and we need to, I guess, prepare future generations for what's to come. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, just one more thing to add. I have packages here for the city council and for executive management staff. What's in here is the letter that I just read, a letter of support from Climate Resolve, who I mentioned during the initial presentation, and an outline for a sustainability and resiliency commission that you can use as a reference point. It's pretty extensive based on some work that I've done in my day job, but hopefully the staff and the council will find it helpful. But thank you all again for your time.
Thank you. Okay. There was one more public comment that you said you were going to read.
Mr. Mayor, I received the council received the copies. One of the public comment submitted by email, and I'll read it for the public. Hello, my name is Chantal Sotomayor. I'm a lifelong resident of Commerce, living at 4583 Leone Street, across from the Commerce truck stop, also known as ABC District, which has severely neglected. I'm here to express concern about yet another truck company potentially purchasing the lot previously owned by RDD USA Military Surplus Store located at 4638 East Washington Boulevard. My concern is that our neighborhood has already seen an influx of semi-trucks enter and get stuck in our small streets, which has caused increased safety concerns. We have experienced a blunt of truck presence in the city. Our neighborhood is requesting that the city develop restrictions of these truck companies that continuously have taken over our side of the neighborhood. We ask that you further regulate existing trucking companies in Commerce to implement zero-emission requirements to reduce pollution. By allowing additional trucking companies on our side of the city, you are compromising our health. Additionally, in regard to the beautification project of the tunnels that connect the Bandini neighborhood to our neighborhood, I would like to advocate for expanding funding or for current funding to be split so that our end of the tunnel is remodeled as well. As stated by Mayor Hugo Argumedo on Tuesday, October 24th, during the community safety meeting held in our neighborhood, the funding for this project was funded for solely the Bandini side. To only have a one-sided beautification remodel is unjust and further oppresses and shows the neglect to our neighborhood. Lastly, I'd like to express my concern for the lack of resources, such as N95 masks, that the city has not provided to residents amid the recent LA fires. I attempted to visit the Emergency Operations Center on Friday, January 10th, and found it to be closed. Please consider your residents' health.
Thank you.
I have a video to show too.
Oh.
We go back.
Okay. Go ahead. I should have went there first. Rustin. Thank you.
Mayor, you were supposed to tell me.
Okay, who's going to show the video?
Hi everyone, welcome to our Turkey Trot 5K run. I just want to welcome everybody and I'm so excited to be here today. For our first annual, we started off with 20 kids and now we have over 1,000. So I'm so excited to be here.
Hey everyone, it's a beautiful Saturday morning here in the wonderful city of Commerce, and I just finished the Turkey Trot 5K over here, and it was such a great experience. Last year, I didn't do the Turkey Trot, I was just handing out medals, but my wife and my son did the Turkey Trot, and when I saw my 12-year-old son run it and finish it, I knew that I had to do it again the following year, and I thought I was gonna pass out a couple of times, but I dug deep, and here I am. I did it, and now it's time to hydrate.
True story, this morning I was just here to cheer on the runners. Then I see Mr. Ortiz is a teacher here at one of our local schools, recovering from multiple surgeries. He has no excuses for running. Telita every day is out here walking. Miss Salas Ortiz, also recovering from surgeries, walking, no excuses. I got inspired to just start running with them. And I think this is what this Turkey Trot does for all of us. Because throughout our course, I just saw so many residents just enjoying the run, cheering each other on, And I really thought I was going to only do 1 mile, but guess what? We finished all together. And I encourage everybody to try it next year. Thank you.
And be together.
Our city manager's not there. I heard he wants second place. He was pushing people out of the way. But, I mean, that's just, I heard, allegedly. I don't know. Nice video. Did you win second place, or city manager?
Third place, Mayor.
Third place. All right.
That's the best one. No, I don't want to say my age group.
In his age group at 39? All right, that's pretty good. All right, so now, okay, so we'll go ahead and close public comment, and we're going to go to the consent calendar, and right now, we're looking for approval or action for items number 2 through 5. Is there a motion? Huh? Yeah, you can pull. Which one would you like to pull? Number 4? Okay, we're going to pull number 4, so we're looking to, do we have a motion to approve items number 2, 3, and 5?
Mayor,
Yes. Oh, there's a motion?
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second.
Oh, okay.
All in favor? Aye.
Hey,
All right.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. So we'll go ahead. Who's going to speak into number 4?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Claude Ferguson, here to answer a question you may have regarding item number 4.
Well, thank you for hearing out our residents' concerns about the noise in the area. My question is, how long does the rotary compressors last that you're requesting to purchase?
I think it lasts, useful life is usually around 10 to 12 years for your replacement.
Oh, okay. And do we have the proper maintenance to service the rotary?
Yeah, we have proper maintenance. Ideally, we were just trying to delay any capital expenditures into the existing facility as we were, planning to move. But over time, it got to the point where we need to replace it, so it's a valid concern. So placing a compressor will reduce the sound, which will definitely be pleasing to the ear for the neighbors.
You're requesting 2 of them, right? And
Yes,
one of
2
them
compressors.
one is 50,000?
No, that's combined for the total purchase.
combined,
The compressors
okay.
operate the bus washer as well as the air tools and equipment in the maintenance facility.
Okay, yeah, that was my confusion. Okay, thank you. You answered my questions.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so at this time, we're looking for action. We're looking for motion to approve.
There's some comments or questions. I would move to approve.
Okay. Okay, there's a first, second, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to schedule matters and the presentation from the Sheriff's Department. They're not going to give a presentation today. They're actually, I believe, they're working double shifts. Is that what's going on? Okay, they're out working due to the fires. So at this time, we'll go over to number 7, which is an agreement with IBE Digital. Who would like to present that? Did I say IBEW? Sorry.
IBE Digital.
Yeah, that's...
You said it right. You said it right, Mayor.
The electric union place, sorry. IBE Digital.
So I'll introduce the item, and then both Mr. Kevin Torres and representatives from IBE Digital can supplement the information. But essentially, as you may recall, unfortunately, in August of 2023, the city experienced a cybersecurity incident that destabilized the city's technology avenues. At that time, subsequent to that unfortunate incident, the city contracted with IBE Digital to do a full assessment. This is to consider the results of said assessment, essentially to improve the city's overall ability to not only upgrade our technology abilities, but prevent cyber attack in the future. And again, both Mr. Torres and representatives from IBE can talk to you about the scope of the recommended services.
Okay.
Hi, good evening, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Kevin Torres, IT Specialist, here to answer any technical related questions you may have regarding this project. And as the city manager mentioned, we also have representatives from IBE Digital that can provide additional context regarding their proposed scope of work.
Okay. Is there any questions from City Council?
don't have any questions. I just have a follow-up, and this is more something that we obviously experienced not long ago. We had I guess a computer hack that we had some problems with here, and we've never gotten a indication of what transpired, what we understood to have taken place, and what we did to resolve it, other than, I know everybody's back up now. I know that we did upgrade some of our servers, I believe, some of the workstations as well, but I just want us to get a report as members of the City Council as to what we think took place. I know we had some folks involved that we were working with, but we never really got closure on the full scale of what took place. We didn't get any findings. We need a report on that. And I'm just dovetailing. I know it's kind of related, but I'd like to get some sort of analysis on what took place, some of the actions that we took to mitigate the problem, and how we're going to, hopefully not have that problem in the future. So, not now. Yeah, that'll be something that we can schedule for us to get a more in-depth report on that. So,
Absolutely, we do need closure on that.
Honorable Mayor and Member City Council, as Councilmember Romero said, the city did commission an investigation, and we'll provide you information that resulted from that.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Rebollo has a question.
I do have a question. So, as I was, reading and asking questions, what I understand is that this is going to entail basically like the framework, right, of what we need so that we don't go through the same cyber attack type of attack in the future, correct?
Correct. This is a comprehensive set of solutions that are being recommended by the vendor to address any potential current threats, as well as minimize the risk for any threats that may arise in the future.
And is there a second component to this that we need that is not being addressed to the topic?
My apologies. If I can have somebody from IAB kind of speak to that. There is in that the implementation of, let's call it the hardware upgrades. This is step one. Step two is to determine what our future needs are and what that would look like. But they could speak to that a little bit.
Of course. Sloan Varing, IBE. Thank you guys for having us here. We appreciate the opportunity. My voice is a little raspy. Can you guys hear me? Okay, wonderful. So this is really the framework. So the best way to think about it is think about it like a surveillance system, right? You buy cameras for a surveillance system. They monitor the environment, right? The other part of that is having individuals that view that surveillance system and monitor that surveillance system. So what we're talking about today is really about implementing that surveillance system, and then on a go-forward basis outside of this scope of work would be to come back and talk about what you want to do to manage it going forward, basically monitor that surveillance system. And so here today has everything when it comes to our recommendations within the infrastructure and technology within your environment to address the concerns here today. But this does not, address ongoing support and maintenance of that investment that's being made today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, we have a motion on the table to approve or not approve. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
There's a first and a second. All in favor?
Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was off.
It's
But
okay.
you heard me, right?
Any opposition? Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Looking forward to working with you guys and keeping our system and City Hall safe. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we will move on to item number 8, consideration of rejection of commercial cannabis permit application NOS 18-036 and 18-028. Who will report on this item?
So, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, tonight is recommendation to reject 2 commercial cannabis permits for various reasons. Ms. Giselle
Delgado.
Delgado We'll give you details related to it, and then we can discuss further. Any questions?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Vice Mayor and council members. I'm here to present consideration and rejection of commercial cannabis permit application number 18-036, 18-028, and this is related to both of the applicants not moving forward with their process related to their development agreement applications. Just a brief background on both of the applicants. Application number 18-036, also known as Claremont Capital Partners LLC. They originally were approved by City Council for an amendment request, however, did not sign their development agreement. They received a final notice of rejection dated November 26, 2024, which is part of your packet today, related to the rejection and failure to not show good faith effort in moving forward with the application. The following applicant is 18-028. This is Synergy Business Management. They were approved for a change of license used for testing, change of location, and change of ownership to designate Unresco Incorporated as the new owner of the license. However, Unresco Incorporated did not execute the approved development agreement by City Council. Therefore, they are considered an applicant. And staff sent a final notice of rejection dated November 26, 2024 to both Synergy and Unresco for Unresco's failure to execute the approved development agreement. And so for today's recommendation is City staff recommends that City Council formally reject applicants number 18-036 and 18-028 for failing to move forward and diligently process their respective development agreement applications. Any questions?
Thank you. Is there any questions on this?
If there's no comments or questions, Mayor, I would move to approve staff's recommendation as just read by Giselle.
And I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposition? There's none. Motion passes. Thank you
Thank you.
for staff's recommendation. We'll go ahead and move on to number 9, committee and commission appointments.
We have a vacancy on the Library Commission, which Library and Education Commission meeting together, and it's Councilmember Garcia appointment.
Okay.
I'm going to reinstate both Connie Ortega and Kiana Hernandez.
Okay.
That's
Anybody
it?
else?
That's it, thank you.
Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to public hearings, which is the allocation for the 51st year of Community Development Grant, CDBG, funds for fiscal year 2025 through 2026. Now, who's going to report on it? Do I open public comments first, or public hearing?
We have to open up a public hearing.
Okay, I'll go ahead and open public hearing if there's anybody who wishes to address the City Council. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close it, and we'll wait for a report.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Members of Council. You have your annual allocation of CD funds that come for you every year, and a requirement by HUD and LACDC is to have a public hearing, taking a testimony from the public to allocate the amount of money that's appropriated for us annually by CDBG, or through CDBG through LA County. This year's allocation is $165,000, which is $130,000 this year, plus $35,000 from last year, for a total of $165,656. And again, as I mentioned, the public hearing is required for this item. And the typical fashion, the allocation that we use every year is for home improvements for the residents here in the city to meet the certain requirements to do a window replacement, roofing, enhancements to the facade, and any kind of qualifying service they may want to pursue. We advertise this program annually through our city website. There's an application on file online for them to fill out the application and meet with our consultant to get the process rolling. So today is just to allocate the funding so we can move forward this year. Any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Any questions?
Mayor, I have a question. So obviously this funds like the Home Preservation Grant Program and some of the other programs that we have for community beautification. do we know how much money we spent last fiscal year?
Roughly around 130,000 roughly.
Okay, and so we're asking for, I mean, 165, which is fine. So let's say we weren't to use that money, right, that entire budget, what's our approach the following year? I guess I'm just trying to understand, like, how we come up with these figures, right?
It's amounts allocated to us by the LA County, but it goes part of that every year to us. We don't make the request, nor do we actually budget the amount that they give to us. We actually
They define it, right?
It's population-based. So you'll see corresponding amounts higher and lower based on population. There's a certain amount, there's qualifying programs. The city has used this program. I mean, during the budget process, if you like, we can talk about what other areas are potential for funding, and we can have that conversation. And you would either submit CDB to the county a change, or you just, that'd be the game plan moving forward for next year.
Yeah, and just to clarify my intent with this question is, I know typically when you don't meet the spend of what you budgeted for, the following year it's lower, right? And so I just want to make sure that we're using it. And so I guess if we're not, if it's just defined by the county and it's just population based and not necessarily based on what we spent the previous fiscal year, then I think that's okay. But if not, then we should make every effort to exhaust this money just because it goes into the community, right? So,
What is possible, to your point, is that if you don't exhaust the monies, you lose them. So there's a period of time where you can ask for extension, but after a certain period of time, you simply just lose out on those dollars to get reallocated back in the pool.
Yeah.
But certainly, because we don't get a whole lot, like some cities, based on population, we really have not gone through the analysis of finding different ways to spend it that qualify to the benefit of the community. But we could certainly have a conversation about options for you.
yeah, and I think maybe the better question would have been, did we exhaust everything that we received last fiscal year? And if we don't know the answer to that now, that's fine.
If I may chime in, just so that the CDBG funding that we received every year that's allocated is absolutely spent 100% of it. And generally what we do is we meet with our law enforcement department and others, and they generally will come back and make a recommendation to us based on what is needed and what these funds can be utilized for. And a lot of times it can be utilized for issues related to crime, law enforcement, and some of the others that have been identified here now. But I can tell you that in past history, every year we exhaust everything that gets allocated. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. What I would recommend is that we obviously inquire to see if there's any more additional resources that we can leverage for any new identified needs that we have. So that should be something that we should do. Yeah.
Also, in addition to that, if you don't spend it, if you're obligated, that's also compliance as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Louis.
Any other questions? Okay.
Just for clarification, this is the money that gets allocated to members of the community that apply for like remediation of like asbestos and stuff in their home. Yes, or am I confusing the grants?
I'm not sure if that's a qualifiable item. It's just part of the compliance issue. But for the most part, the applications that come forward have been for window improvements, roofing,
Okay, roofing, window improvement. Okay.
painting.
Okay, so my second question is, I know that I've received various phone calls from residents that have said stuff like, you know, I've been on a list for a year, for 2 years, I never got called. So are we gonna ask for more members of the community to get on a list? Have we exhausted the list? Do we use the previous list? What are we doing to make sure that the community is getting this money?
Yeah, there was a waiting list for a while. When I came on board, there was a backlog, small backlog because you expanded the funds. But we got that list. Those around the list previously are going to be given first priority. Working currently with our consultant on that, and we're expanding the list as well.
Have I understood you correctly? The people that were on the waiting list are going to be getting, or on the list, on the previous list, are going to get priority?
Yeah.
And are we adding more people to the list? So are we opening it up to the community so they know
It's open. to
there's
the
a new
community.
allocation, you can apply now, or?
Yeah, it's open to the community. They can apply now.
No, okay, I understand that, but have we let the community know that that it's,
Yes, we have been advertising through the our website.
Okay.
And the application is on there as well, so they can see what the requirements are to meet the requirements.
perfect. Okay, and if you don't have it now, you can email it to me later. Can I know how many people are on the previous list that haven't had any work done?
Yeah.
Please, thank you. Thank you so much for your presentation and your time.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, there's a motion on the table to adopt the resolution and also to authorize the city manager or designee to prepare, execute, and submit the planning summary agreements and all required documents for the 2025 to 2026 CDBG program.
Mayor, if no further questions, I'll move to approve recommendations 1, 2, and 3 per the staff report.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Thank you. We are going to be headed to closed session, but we do have city council reports. I almost missed that. I'm going to go with Councilwoman Rebollo first because sometimes I skip her by accident. So this time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll make it as brief as possible. Happy New Year to our community. I hope everybody had a safe and healthy Christmas and New Year. I know there's been a bug going around, so I know it hit my household. With that, I want to thank Parks and Recreation for all the wonderful programming that we had over the winter at all parks. And I want to thank the Teen Center for all the programming they had at the Teen Center. It's really awesome to see just that Teen Center really full of kids. When I dropped off my son, it's full of teens. So it's been really nice to see that. So thank you to Supervisor Amber for the work that she's doing there. I want to thank the library also for the wonderful winter activities that we had over the break. The 12 days of Christmas, I believe it's what it was called, was really awesome. I didn't get to attend all of it, but I was at the library and I got to see all the creativity that that took place at the library. So thank you again for all of that. With that, I want to thank our city manager and our staff for just stepping into action. We all know the devastation that's happening throughout our county, and it's every single one of us definitely knows one person that it has affected, either a person that has lost their home or was evacuated. And I think it's hit home for a lot of us, me in particularly. So I want to thank the city manager for stepping into action with our staff. I know that they did a big donation of waters. They're partnering with different civic organizations, and also our transportation. We will be helping folks get to the services that they need. A lot of people lost their cars within the fires, so our transportation department is also going to step in and help. So I'm just honestly really proud that every single one of us, I know, will step into action when needed, but I'm really proud of our community and our staff for stepping in without hesitation. There's members of our community that they themselves have been stepping in to do things. So I want to thank Michaela Rice, who I think we all know. She's now in college, but she started working, she started volunteerism at, I think, 4th grade. She started with helping build schools in Africa or something. And ever since then, she's always volunteered in this community, done collections of items and blankets for Skid Row, and always definitely volunteered with Team Rebollo at different community events. But she will be collecting items at her home. I have the flyer up on my social media. Her and another friend of hers who was part of the iCare program at Bell Gardens High School, they have partnered and will be collecting items here in Commerce at our house. So you can get all the information on my social media. If you would like to donate to the cause, all of that is going directly to people affected by the fires. So thank you to Michaela. Thank you to Rosa and the Hernandez family who immediately sent me messages and said, we want to help. It was really nice to see her elderly parents just really excited to want to help the community, and they donated bags and bags of like blankets and essential needs that was donated to Lakota, Lakota in Santa Fe Springs, who is housing a lot of evacuees from the Lakotas in the Pasadena area. There are so many organizations that are helping, so if anybody would like to volunteer their time, there's a lot of need for volunteers to help sort items. Please reach out to me or to the city manager. Montebello YMCA is somewhere there that was asking for volunteers as well. Again, this community is so giving that I know that everybody wants to help, whether it's you can help with a case of waters, or you can help with $10 or $5 or your time. This is a time for us to come together and help the city of LA and the region. So with that, I just ask that, we all keep all emergency personnel in our prayers, our firefighters, our police officers, our inmates that are fighting fires. I know that it's not very popular to mention them. Like, I feel like they always get forgotten, and it's really important for us to remember. It was really nice to hear some other stories where they talk about, this is their second chance to make their wrongs right. Whatever they did in this community, this is their way of making it right in their eyes. And they talked about they don't even pay you enough. And one of them talked about it's not even about what we get paid. And yes, our sentence gets reduced, but I feel good knowing that I'm giving back to the community and I have a second chance to do it right this time. So please also remember to keep them in your prayers when we pray for our emergency personnel and everybody that's on the ground, boots on the ground, helping. Everybody, staff, vendors. There's two members of our business members of our community that have stepped in to help. Our resident employee and business owner from Hawks Towing, Anthony Diaz, who is out there with their tow trucks, helping out in Pasadena. We have CCM, who has taken their lunch trucks and are feeding our emergency personnel. So, I'm thankful for everybody in this community that has stepped up to help. So thank you again. Please keep everybody in your prayers. And again, if you would like to help, please reach out to me via my social media or my phone, and I'll be posting information there. So thank you again. God bless everybody, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Councilwoman Garcia?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I'd like to report that I stopped by yesterday for our first water aerobics class, and it was great. It was full. I believe when they signed up, it was like full that same day. So keep it up, Parks and Rec. Great job with Lauren teaching the class. I'd like to move forward to see if we can schedule classes focusing on 8 to 10 weeks programming. I know you're looking at me, Greg. Fun fact, in 1982, I believe the first time the City of Commerce had a water exercise class. It wasn't called aerobics. It was called a water exercise class. It was ran by Moira Garcia. Can you believe that? Long time ago. Good job, Moira. So I also attended the holiday craft event. Wonderful job, Brenda. She's so motivating. I know she has a lot of patience because I'm not very crafty. I'm more sports oriented. Well, not anymore, but good job with the staff. Everything, the setup and everything was great. I also attended the Children's Holiday Program. The staff did an exceptional job putting together the holiday event. Their dedication, creativity, and hard work were evident in every detail, from the festive decorations to the seamless coordination. It was clear that everyone involved poured their heart into making this event special, ensuring that all the attendees had a memorable and enjoyable experience. Their efforts truly made this holiday celebration one to remember. Great job, Moira, Ed, and Sonia, and library staff. I also attended the holiday breakfast for the seniors, and that's a fun group. They're always letting you know how they feel, and I'm glad they joined that event. Lastly, I think my notes here, let me see. Yes, talk about emergencies. I know that I asked the city manager to provide the N95 masks to the senior center. I don't know, we got there. Did we do that? We did that?
Yes, Councilmember, they're arrived today, and tomorrow we'll start distributing and put out social media posts so the public's aware.
Thank you for that. And are we also going to give to the Parks and Rec departments there or centers? We're also going to distribute there?
Right now, the plan is at the senior center and make them available to our seniors first until we can acquire more supplies.
Okay, thank you. Speaking on this subject, are we prepared for any, people were concerned about our emergencies. Are we prepared for an emergency? Do we know if we have, I know that we have some bins out there with cots, food, and water. Is everything updated? Do we have staff that are prepared for this? Are we trained? Do we have staff that's trained?
So in reviewing our hazard mitigation plan, it's something that we're going to have to bring back to City Council for update.
Okay. So is there any possible way that we can get some type of guidelines for our residents, like a what's it called, emergency go kit, so that we can be prepared for future, emergencies or now? Can we get that going on with one of your staff, please? Is that a yes? Okay, I would like to say special thanks to all the first responders. And again, reiterating what Councilor Boyle said, thank you, City Manager, for keeping us updated with all emergency protocols and guiding all the departments to provide our bus services and water at the recreation departments. Again, my condolences to the Griego family. Any possible way we can end the meeting with adjourn the meeting with the memory of Elena Cruz and Raquel Arriaga?
Yeah, what's the second one? I mean, the first one?
Elena Cruz? Okay.
So,
And that concludes
Raquel.
my report.
Raquel Arriaga. Is that?
Oh, Raquel.
Yeah, Raquel Arriaga. Yeah.
Got it.
And Elena Cruz.
Thank you.
That concludes. Thank you.
Okay, now Councilmember Argumedo.
Oh, thank you. I'll keep it short. Just want to thank everybody for being here. Happy New Year to everybody, to all of our city staff. And I just want to thank you all for all of the great work that you're all doing in response to what's already been covered. Appreciate everybody really stepping up and, just helping out. I mean, these are our neighbors, and, that's what it's all about, helping each other whenever we can, however we can, provide any help and assistance. So I'm really happy and thankful to be a part of the great work that all of you do here in our community. So thank you. And one of our public speakers, Mr. Franklin Arroyo, who I believe he left already, but he made a comments related to deportation concerns that have come up, and I know that I've gotten some calls from several people related to this, and I did ask our staff to look into that. And there was a brochure that I think was provided by our congressional representative's office. Congressman Garcia's office provided a brochure, I believe, but I also asked our staff to be prepared because we may be getting more of these requests in the future, so that we're prepared to direct and guide them accordingly. Just wanted to make sure that we do that, get something ready, because we'll probably be getting more and more requests related to that, and so we can properly guide them and direct them in the best way to proceed and assist and help them. Let me see. Yeah, I just want to follow up on a request that I've made in the past. So at some point, I'd like to see it agendized and properly brought to the City Council. This is related to the Miss Commerce pageant, great opportunity. We haven't had one now in several years, obviously related to COVID, and we just haven't budgeted, and I'd like to see how soon we can get that agenda is. I know that we were looking at a revised version that we can bring back to the city council so we can, take it into consideration, but it'd be a good time for us to do it so that we can plan accordingly for that. So nothing that we need to respond to now, but I want to see what we can do in the future.
It would be on the upcoming meeting, actually.
Oh, great. Thank you. Appreciate that. And let's see. Yes. My condolences to the Griego family. I know we adjourned our last meeting in honor of Tim Griego, and my condolences to the family. We did attend the services over the weekend. We were there, and what a beautiful service they had in honoring Tim Griego's life and his contributions that he made to this community as a coach here. It was really nice to see so many of these kids that he coached come up and speak. And it was just really good to hear. I really want to thank them for the great service that they provided for Tim. And also want to extend my sincere condolences to the Arriaga family who served on the city council years ago. Former mayor, former city council member. She was a good friend with Sylvia Munoz, former council member and mayor as well, of course. And she was very active with the Sister City Association. Really very nice family, good person, and I enjoyed serving with her as on the city council. And of course, she passed, and I just want to express my sincere condolences to their family. And with that, I want to remind everybody of the 65th birthday celebration, Mayor. I think this is going to be a great celebration, and looking forward to this drone light show that we're expecting. I think it's going to be a big hit, and hopefully things are going well with the outreach that we've done. I've seen this great flyer here that you guys prepared, Greg and all of your staff, and we're all looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great event, and I think it'll be one that'll become very popular, just like some of the other events that we've had. So thank you again.
Thank you. Would you like for me to refer to you as Vice Mayor or Mayor Pro Tem? Or either or?
That's a great question.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
I like Mayor Pro Tem.
It sounds a lot more elegant.
But I think more people know what Vice Mayor is, right? So, but Mayor Pro Tem. Or surprise me each meeting.
Yeah, no, I'll do every other meeting. I'll switch it up. Because you are pretty elegant. So Mayor Pro Tem Lioness, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. So first off, it's been quite a bit since we've been here in council chambers, but I do want to thank all of our city staff for their incredible work in the month of December to put together the holiday programming that our city provides, right? From the children's holiday program at the casino to some of the other programs that the library does, to some of the things that Parks does, right? I know one event in particular that was, conducted was Las Posadas, and that was kind of like a very last minute audible type of request. And I know it was more than just Parks, right? I know Public Works was involved, Transportation was involved, several other departments were involved, but thank you all for just putting together such a remarkable event. Like, when I stepped in there and I saw the setup, it almost looked like a wedding reception, right? It was just really like beautiful and elegant, to take the word out of the mayor's lexicon here. But really, it just looked fantastic, and I know that the community was really impressed with just what took place and just all the festivities that happened, and that event in particular, right? But I think the City of Commerce does a fantastic job of just doing holiday program and allowing our families to build memories. A lot of people think of the City of Commerce as a business city, and we are, but we're also a family city. So thank you all to all of the departments, all of the staff for really answering the call and just doing a fantastic job of our holiday programming. I'm also really just in awe of the power of people. I know our city's, contributing to the efforts with the fires that are going on, and just doing what we can to help, with the first responders and the people that have been impacted, people that lived in Altadena and in the Palisades and some of those other areas. But, as Councilwoman Rebollo said, Michaela Rice taking the initiative to start to gather supplies, right, to some of the members of our business community like Hawks Towing and Dirt Dog to, collect resources and really just answer the call to serve and really just help other people. It's just, it's a tragedy what happened and what's happening right now, because the two big fires are still, not contained, right? But, just to see the power of community and the power of, and the good of people just wanting to step up and assist and help, that's really inspiring to see. There's some good in the world for sure. So, my thoughts and my sympathies go out to everybody who's been impacted. I personally know a couple of people who have been displaced, and it's unfortunate, and I'm sure many of us do as well. So my thoughts and sympathies go out to them, and also to the first responders that are out there battling this blaze, right? But that said, I wish all of you a prosperous new year, and it's 2025, so let's go get it. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. We're now back, so excited to be back. I was maybe a little rusty in my meeting today. I let previous Mayor Argumedo let me know if I skip anything over, but he didn't let me know when I did. Thank you, Mayor. But it happens, right? It happens to the best of us. Ernie, I'll send you some information on the AQMD. I know, I'm not sure if it was maybe about a year ago, where Vanessa Delgado had given us some information on these indoor air filters for residents, and she did say that City of Commerce qualified for it. So more so now with these fires, there's been a lot of people calling me, and I mean, some of them left City of Commerce and tried to go to Riverside area to spend some time out there, because the air was just so bad here that their asthma was kicking up. And I mean, it hit me a little bit just from even trying to stay indoor. So I just want to see if we can reach out to them and help the residents fill out the applications, whatever we need to do in order to get these filters to their homes. I'll send you the information tomorrow. And we're going to be going back into closed session, and we're not going to adjourn now. However, I just like to say that that we are going to be adjourning in the memory of Council Member and Mayor Raquel Arriaga, and she served from 1998 to 2001. And we will be adjourning again in Tim Gregel. He was a former employee. And we're also going to be adjourning in Alicia Carvajal, and she was a city resident. So we will adjourn when we come back. Who? Elena Cruz? Is that Bever's mom? Yeah? Oh, wow. And we will also be adjourning in Elena, you said? Elena Cruz. She was a city resident. I've known her. Wow, I mean, I was probably 5 years old when I met her, or even younger when I went to school with her kids. So we will be adjourning. I didn't know that she passed away. Thank you for the info. So at this time, we'll go to closed session. Thank you, guys.